Hi there, Taurus, and welcome to your dream, love, and shadow reading with me, Priscilla B. So, first, we're going to walk through the door of destiny. All right, so we're going to do that first. And the door of visions comes through for you, Taurus. Okay, so this is the door of foresight, revelation, prophecy, sight, senses, and apparition. Okay, so wow, very intuitive, Taurus. All right, but I also feel like there might be some sort of um, blockages coming through. So as you walk through the door of visions, I'm getting the champion, achievement, and downfall. Okay, so that is probably where you're getting like a mental block here because the sword is broken up into pieces. So you had this big achievement moment, I feel like, with someone, and you now are feeling like the broken pieces of that, like, you know, the downfall. Okay, it's like you have something here and then it falls to pieces. And then we have the queen, determination and sacrifice, okay, with the divine feminine energy. And we have this full sword, there's no broken pieces here, but it's like you have to, the downfall is leading you to have to sacrifice. You're still determined to achieve greatness here. You're still determined to tap into this prophecy, these visions, these senses that you're picking up on. And then we have the tailor, attention to detail, pride. Okay, you take a lot of pride in the work you do. Okay, you put a lot of attention into the details of the fabric of your life, and this downfall, this sacrifice is what you're paying the most attention to because you want to, um, you know, sew together, a meaningful life here and a meaningful purpose here. Um, and your sight, okay, that's not just like, okay, I see, you know, there's, a bird outside. This is like, I see beyond just, you know, like, I feel like you see beyond just like the material world and you see a much more deeper meaning and spiritual, soulful connection to things. And then we have the hunter, sure-footedness and predestination with the news. Okay, so you probably are having dreams and visions of nooses. Okay, and when I think about that, I think about like the hangman, so coming to a crossroads. But I also think about like in Western movies, the hero is usually the one who's like being chased down by like the corrupt, sheriff or the corrupt gang, like the gang that's in control because they have all the money and the wealth and power, and you're like the vigilante, right? Or, and often at times you have to like find a way of freeing yourself, and however creative that gets, or however um, you see yourself being able to get through whatever challenges arise and whatever, downfall, you're experiencing here. Um, but the orator, communication and confidence, okay, this is talking about a rebirth and a transformation of death to life, okay, or life to death. It's that endless cycle of seeing things, feeling things, experiencing things, and energy, really, and then transforming yourself. and um, it's kind of like the evolution of your soul, pretty much, Taurus, is what you're experiencing here. And then we have the king, control, reversal of fortune. Okay. And you want to, when it comes to matters of the heart, you want to feel like you have like equal partnership, like you want the queen and the king, you want that like ideal energy, you want that ideal connection. But it's happening in a much deeper level than just, you know, finding someone and marrying them and so forth. It's coming from a place of your soul is connecting you with divine masculine energy, and you're connecting, and that energy is connecting with your divine feminine energy. And that's what's really where your heart is going right now. That's really where your soul is at right now. Okay. um so the Alice in Tarotland cards. Okay. So we have the world. Okay. We have you here at the center. All right. And you have all this chaos going on around you. But you're like the queen here, wearing the crown here. You're like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want the chaos. I don't want the drama. I don't want all of that. I want something tuned in here to a more tailored version, a more detailed version of calm and presence and clarity here. But the broken swords between the champion and the king, it's telling me there's a different side to this. There's a more, your divine feminine energy is what is keeping you on course, which is keeping you in your world of safety and love and support and protection. And you're only willing to let in energy that matches yours, that respects your energy. That's the only energy you want in your world. Okay. And we have Ace of Cups. Okay. Once you block out these energies that are no longer serving you, that are no longer in support of you, you're going to start to see how you have like a watch here, right? So you're going to see how time starts to pretty much like rearrange your life or rearrange things in a way where now you're filling your cup, you're pouring into yourself again. And that's giving you an abundance of love and support that's what you only want in your world. You don't want chaos. You don't want broken connections. You don't want people coming after you and your abundance and your fortune. And then we have here the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Four of Cups. Everything is coming into an alignment here. There's like a reversal. The reversal of fortune is you are now getting your fortune. You are now getting your abundance. Whereas before you stepped in this door, you weren't able to really receive that or feel that or get that because you weren't able to walk through the door. I mean, technically you've always been able to walk through the door. It's just I feel like before you were dealing with a downfall. You were dealing with having to make certain sacrifices so that you could regain your title of, queen energy, like putting yourself first, and the Four of Cups, the Two of Cups is about equal give and take, which in a perfect connection and a perfect love soulmate connection, there is equal partnership. There is equal give and take when it comes to emotions and feelings and all that, and emotional support. But the Three of Cups is telling me that, if everybody wants their feelings to be prioritized, but they're not willing to work together, then someone has to ultimately make the sacrifice. Someone has to take the fall. And you're not going to do that. I feel like you, in the past, you were kind of put in this position of having to do that, but you didn't put yourself there. You know, someone else did. Okay, so now you're working with other, you know, loving, supporting people that you have loving, supporting connections with, and now that is showing you a much better reality, right, than what you were currently dealing with. Okay, so now you're moving into this sort of like Four of Cups energy where you see the offers. You know, this is the Ace of Cups, this is the hand right here, and it's saying, here, take the cup, you know, let's move on from this. And you are doing that, you know, and you are. Now you can see Alice here, she has like a ball of yarn here, or thread here. She knows what she wants. She knows what deep. Okay, so that's what's happening. You know what you want, and you know what you need to do in order to get that love and support that you know you deserve. Okay, so now as you do that and you move forward in that new energy, well, you're gonna move into a new place. And I feel like this place is giving you more autonomy. It's giving you more voice. It's giving you more recognition. It's giving you more love. It's giving you more support because you're tuning into it. You're tuning into that Ace of Cups energy, into that world visions energy of, this is my world. Like, I need to keep going at this level of love and support for myself. And then you have this Knight of Swords energy that comes in. Okay. And we're going to read from the book here. Knight of Swords. Okay, so it says here, the Knight of Swords. Heir of air, fast, smart, sharp, cool, hip, bullheaded, and short fused. And Taurus, I mean, you're a bull, right? So I feel like on a good day, you know, you're, feeling very clear minded. You're feeling a lot of clarity. And I also feel like on a bad day, you can be dealing with some energies of, someone who is very short fused, who has very little patience or tolerance. And that's the thing, is like, you have lost your patience and your tolerance for like the bullshit, and it's like, you're tired and sick of hearing people talk a lot of shit and like say things about you and do things to you that, are ill intended and energy wise are just like, it's not what you're looking for. You're looking for more emotionally balanced and stable connections that like feed your soul and give you more clarity. Okay. And then we have the Knight of Discs. Oh, wow. We got the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Discs. Interesting. 2 knights. Okay. Wow. So this Knight of Discs, take a look here at that. Air of Earth, thoroughness, steadiness, rigor, and boredom. Okay. So I feel like, yeah, you're pretty much like bored of what you were dealing with in the past. You're bored of like constantly having to make sacrifices for other people. You're bored of, dealing with people who are trying to reverse your fortunes. You're very done with this type of energy. Okay. And let's see. Ooh, Knight of Cups. Wow. Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. Oh, Knight of Discs and Knight of Cups. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Oh my God. 3 for 3. Yeah, Knight of Cups. definitely power of 3 here. Okay. This Knight of Cups energy. Air of water, romance, adventure, drama, passion, all emotion, mad, new beginnings. Wow. Mm. Yes. So this is definitely, you are seeking out romance. You're seeking out adventure. You're done with the drama. You want passion, but you don't want all emotion and like no like logic at all. Okay. With all the cups energy prior to this, I do feel like you want something emotionally satisfying, you know, for you emotionally. Okay. And new beginnings. So I think it's in the cards that new beginning for you romantically here. You're going on a new romantic adventure here. And it's definitely coming from a place where you've been dreaming about this for a long time. Like you definitely, when it comes to like what your heart desires, you definitely want something that's going to fuel your passionate side. And yeah, I'm going to draw one more card to tie this all together. King of Wands. Whoa. The most passionate masculine energy in the deck is the King of Wands, the creative, passionate, fiery personality here. Okay. So that's your king to your queen. You know, you don't want a king who's controlling. You don't want a king who is trying to take your fortune from you. You want a king that is creative and passionate and doesn't really want you to have to like make any more sacrifices for yourself. Like they want to give everything to you. Okay, that's more in alignment with what your soul desires right now. It's also more in alignment with what your shadow energy is trying to tell you. It's like you've been sacrificing so much. And yeah, it's not good to like be all shadow and all ego and all pride and not, you know, think about like the logic in all of it and the reasoning in all of it and the rationalizing and all. But there needs to be a balance. And the King of Wands is someone who can balance that out for you. Okay? That energy. All right, so let's see. King of Wands. I feel like I just read you your like soulmate reading, Taurus. Fire of fire, alpha, aggression, ultra vision, inspiring, domineering, leading, and following. Yes. Okay. So it's like it's like best of both worlds, you know? Like you want someone like some like an alpha energy, but you also don't want like someone like it says like aggression. Like you don't want someone like being aggressive towards you in a like controlling, manipulative way, which is what you were dealing with before. And that's why your visions and your dreams were so like the themes running through that, the scenarios running through that, the characters running through that were very much in that energy. But now you're seeing something where you can still be like aggressive, but it's in more of like a passionate soulmate sexual way. It's not like this person is like out to get you. This person is out to want to be with you, and they're showing you they want to be with you. Okay. They're being like assertive about their feelings for you and the connection that they have with you, or they feel towards you. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a crow's insight card because this is from the shadow world, the shadow energy and realm here. So we have loneliness. Embrace moments of loneliness with self-reflection. Be the one to reach out and connect with others. Loneliness. See, that's what you've been experiencing right at this time, Taurus, is you have been experiencing loneliness because you walk through this door and your dream world is showing you everything you need to know about what it is that your heart really desires, what it is you really want. And your shadow side is also like girl, you've been through enough. Like, it's time for you to like be more assertive about what you want and what you're passionate about. And when you do that, you're going to align with what your heart desires, what your soul is telling you it wants. Okay. And this loneliness card just like confirms it. It's like you've been lonely. You haven't had the emotional support you've wanted and dreamed about. You haven't had the love and the passion that you've dreamed about and that you want. Okay. So, that being said, we have the Seek Balance card. Okay. And this is coming from my Mystic Whispers, card deck here. Okay. So, dance of doing and being, find rhythm. Okay. And that's what you want too. I feel like you also want like a dancing partner, like maybe not literally going dancing together, but like soulfully, your souls are like your twin flames, like your flames are dancing together. Your fire is burning bright for each other. Your soul is dancing. Okay. Rest your mind. Ceaseless thought drowns the soul's voice. Yes. Okay. So, rest your mind. That's the balance here. Is your mind already has made up its mind. It already knows what it wants. It's already said this isn't a logical, rational explanation, but that's what you want though right now. Is you don't want something that you have to explain rationally. You don't want something that you have to explain logically. You want something that makes sense to your heart and your soul and your body, and that is in alignment with your mind, regardless of like logistics and technicalities, which you've already been doing that. You've already had your attention to detail for so long that it's like, let's give your soul a break from that. You're not going to not have attention to detail anymore. That's still going to remain intact, but you have to give your soul something here. Like your soul is like burning for this. And then we have explore. The world is a book whose pages are paths. Wow. I also feel like your soulmate is someone who, as annoying as it sounds out loud, there's somebody who's definitely said to you before, like, this is like another chapter in your book. Just think of it that way. Or just think of it, as that. It's like, your life is a book or a movie or whatever it is. And, I guess this person is like right about certain things, but I feel like they're also wrong about a lot of other things. But that's what makes it so exciting, I feel like, for you, Taurus. Wow, I definitely just did like a soulmate reading for you. But that's what your dreams are telling you. That's what your visions are telling you. That's what your shadow is saying. It's saying like, you're not gonna like love this about yourself because this is like the bad side of you, but this is what you want though. This is what your soul is telling you. It keeps redirecting you here. Why is it doing that? And it's because your pages are paths, and that's what the hangman energy was like. You're at a crossroad. You already know which way you want to go, right? And now it's just a matter of getting there, basically. And how are you going to get there? How are you going to write this, in the pages of your life, right? Take risks. And it says, wings unfold when you leap into the void. Oh my God. Now you got to go into the void. Okay, Taurus. Wow. You are diving deep here. You're definitely ready for this adventure. Travel. Okay. And it says, every crossed border, as the crossroads, expands the soul's map. And that is exactly what's happening here. All right. So, wow. Oh my goodness. Yep. live in the present and end a cycle. Now is the only moment that exists. Embrace it. End a cycle. Sunset isn't an end, but a prelude to dawns. Wow. And there's the hourglass, the sands of time. So you're going to embrace it and you're going to exist in it. And that's a beautiful thing. That's my message for you, beautiful souls. Love and light always. Check out your playlist and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, Taurus. Bye.